Washington State, the last and final segment of the Pacific Crest Trail. We are very excited, but also no one warned us about how terrifying Bridge of the Gods was going to be to walk across. I looked down and there was nothing but open air beneath the grate we were walking on. That was so scary. But we made it across. We're starting our long climb up into the Evergreen state. We are so stoked. You gotta watch the thorns on these blackberry bushes. Stole my hat.
Carried them over there.
Oh, you're right. Well, I think this is possibly the worst campsite of the trail. We're on like a pretty steep slope, and this was the only place to fit our tent. But we didn't want to hike any further. This hill up and out of Cascade Locks was really kicking our butts. Tired, ready for some food, and ready for bed. I really hope our campsite's better tomorrow. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to top this one. Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 4th. We have been on trail for 125 days now. And last night was interesting. The campsite definitely proved to be a challenging place to sleep. We both woke up multiple times, having to crawl back uphill towards our pillow. Needless to say, neither of us got great sleep. But there is established camping 25 miles in today at a campground with picnic tables and pit toilets and supposedly some running water from a well. So I'm pretty optimistic that we'll find some flat ground tonight. Well, I finally got some much needed rest last night. After several nights of not sleeping, we slept in really late. It's now 8:30. Took a while to find a campsite last night. We are colliding with the southbound bubble right now, but we finally found a flat spot. It was close to the pit toilets at the campground, which was really nice. And I feel energized and ready to go for the first time in a long time, which is really good because you can probably tell by my struggle to breathe, we are climbing all day today. I think over 6,000 feet of vertical climbing today. So I'm glad we have energy for it. Should be a wonderful day. It is 6 o'clock. We did how many miles today?
25 miles.
25 miles. And the weather is quickly changing as we just got in. We actually passed a group of campers a couple miles back that warned us of a potential storm coming in tonight. So we are just preparing for that, and based on the looks of the clouds and wind, I'd say it's probably likely. So it'll be pretty exciting. We haven't had a real storm yet on trail, so we'll see how the night goes. Well, it didn't storm per se. We definitely woke up to a good bit of rain, which is never super fun to hike through. It's cold and wet and everything's covered in mud. But I do know that the West Coast desperately needs some rain to help with all of these wildfires. So for that, we are grateful. And we can't complain too much because we're going into town today. We're gonna head into Trout Lake. I think we're about 22 miles from the road that gets us into town. And we're gonna dry up and get warm, and maybe this will pass over. We've been hiking for almost 4 hours now. The rain is finally letting up, thankfully. Just absolutely drenched down to every single layer. It was one of those rainstorms where the rain wasn't particularly hard, but we were kind of just in the clouds and being misted nonstop. So it just kind of soaks you. But we only have about 10 miles left till we can get into town. We're definitely wanting to get a place to stay tonight to dry out everything and warm up. I've been talking about hot chocolate all day. It sounds really, really good right now. Maybe we'll find some. Well, we made it down into town. We got a ride from one of the local trail angels. There's a bunch in this town. But shout out to Jerry for giving us a ride. And turns out all of the lodgings booked up for at least a month. So we're set up here at the tent city behind the church. At least it's not raining. The sun is out. We're drying out our stuff. And apparently there's a taco truck. So we're pretty excited to be here. Even if we don't get a hotel room, which is what we were hoping for, but we'll get a room in the next town for sure.
Well, that sounds good.
Onions. We are so excited that it is dry and not raining today. We're well rested, really stoked on Trout Lake. That was a great town. Highly recommend stopping in there if you're hiking through. We're excited to keep pushing north, closer to Canada day by day. coming to an end quick, trying to savor the last days. And I spoke too soon about the rain. We're back up in the clouds. It's drizzling on us and it's cold and wet. But at least we have a dry tent. We were able to get dried off in town. So we'll be dry when we get to camp. Well, it ended up raining on and off for the last few hours of the hike today. We were sitting in camp trying to dry out, but with the lack of sun and overcast skies, there's really no hope of that for, well, I don't know, however long it keeps raining. We're hoping for clear skies tomorrow because we're about to enter into some of the more scenic areas of Washington. We're gonna hit Goats Rocks tomorrow, and really hoping this rain clears up. Should be a great time.